Hey guys, this is John and Curt with True Shot Gun Club, and today we're talking about the new CMMG Dissent. All right, guys, so this gun released on June 14th, so it is a brand new offering from CMMG. Unfortunately, it will not ship until September, so they will be taking pre-orders on it as we speak. But right now, they are toting this as the thinnest PDW on the market, and they are not wrong. It is at 2 3/4 inches wide, which makes it a very thin, compact gun. Now, Curt, this offering we have in front of us is in 5.7. What else does it come in?
So it also comes in 5.56 as well as 300 blackout. All of them have a 6.5-inch barrel. The 5.56 and 300, that's going to be a direct impingement system, where the 5.7 is a radial blowback.
Yeah, and so with that widespread, we're talking about a 1-in-9 twist with the 5.7 and a 1-in-7 twist with the 5.56 and 300 blackout.
The other great thing about the Dissent in all the different calibers is they all carry the CMMG's zero line of accessories, and that's everything from grip to ambi safety selector to trigger guard, as well as mag release and bolt catch.
So with that being said, with the accessories, this gun is almost completely ambidextrous except for the bolt release, and that is on the left-hand side only. But as you can see here, we have a brace here in the back. Curt, what is the street price of this brace right now?
Right now, street price is about $160.
So there is a $160 add-on that you have to do with the gun when you buy it. It does not come with the brace, but it does have a Picatinny rail in the back here, so you can attach most brace accessories. Now, this is what you notice here. There is no rear charging handle because this is a side charger. Now, this charger can be swapped to left and right-handed. So this is almost a completely ambidextrous gun, which is great for our left-handed friends out there.
Absolutely.
On top of that, Curt, can you touch on the handguard right here? Because this is a proprietary handguard from what I know.
It is. It's definitely, it's CMMG's proprietary handguard. One of the things I really, really like about it is they've actually added in kind of a hand stop here, and it's built into the handguard, which I thought was really nice. The handguard, I think, comes in about 5.5 inches to not have to take up space for like an aftermarket hand stop is actually really nice.
Should also mention that this charging handle is non-reciprocating, because that is a big deal for those of us who have shot the scar and put our hand too close. So it is a non-reciprocating ambi charging handle. The trigger is amazing on this. Curt, what kind of trigger we got?
CMMG did a great job on this. They could have just put a mil-spec trigger in this gun. That is not what they did. They actually partnered up with Trigger Tech. And so this gun comes with an ARD 2-stage trigger, and it is absolutely amazing.
Now, the other thing I do want to touch on, the front of the gun is 1/2x28 thread, so it will fit most suppressors and or aftermarket muzzle devices. It does come with a CMMG zeroed linear comp on it. Now, Curt, we've got this awesome PDW. This thing is toted as the thinnest PDW on the market. It's designed for backpack carry. We threw it into one of the Vertex bags. It is easy to deploy, easy to go. We've got 3 different calibers here. The one in front of us is 5.7, and that is a 32-round capacity. You've got a 5.56 that is a 30-round capacity, and a 300 blackout that's a 30-round capacity. Which one, what's the benefits of having a 5.7 versus a 5.56 versus a 300 blackout?
This is such a hard choice. We have all been talking in the office about, like, which one would we get?
Right.
And I personally have gone back and forth a bunch of times. Shooting this gun in 5.7 is absolutely amazing. And honestly, I haven't shot a lot of 5.7 prior to this, and I wasn't 100% sold on the round until we started shooting the Dissent. And this thing in 5.7 is absolutely incredible. There's almost no recoil.
Oh no, it just sits on target.
It just sits there. You feel like you're shooting a 22. But overall, it's great. It's not as loud. I mean, that being said, if I were to buy one, there's definitely something to be said for, guess what? We've all got a lot of 5.56, right? Or 300 blackout, because then you could put a suppressor on it. There's a lot of good options here.
And again, this is a PDW, so we're talking about 50 yards max. in a 6.5-inch barrel with 5.56, you can reach out and touch something 200-300 yards if you really need to, but the wide variety of ammo loadings for 300 Blackout make this really interesting, especially that it's threaded, so I can throw a can on it. So
Agreed.
before this video, we kind of talked them on about the wide velocity differences between the 5.7 and the 223 5.56 and the 300 Blackout. So 5.7, we're looking at 1640 FPS, 1655.
Yep.
And that's a 40 grain projectile.
Exactly. And then in 5.56, 55 grain, around 2400.
Right.
Yeah.
But 300 Blackout, we were surprised on how wide the spread was, because we sell ammo and you don't think about it that much when it comes to 300 Blackout, but you're looking at anywhere between a 78 grain projectile to a 220 grain projectile.
Right. So you're getting anywhere from 1,000 to upwards of 2,800 feet per second. And with that, especially, and then when you lump on top of that, if you have a suppressor or not, the nice thing about the 5.56 and the 300 is those both are direct impingement setup. So with an adjustable gas block. So if you're switching ammo for 300, then you're going to have to dial it in for each, but that's, expected.
And we got a chance to fire the 300 Blackout. At one point, we want to thank Jonathan from Tactical Toolbox for letting us try his out at one point. And I will say it's a noticeable recoil difference between the 300 and the 5.7, but you're talking about a bigger round versus basically a 22 Magnum.
Yeah.
And not to, knock on 5.7, it's a great defensive caliber, but for me, 5.56 is the most logical step with this, but shooting this had me thinking 5.7 would be cool. But now we're adding costs, a lot of costs.
You are, but for me, so this has been my kind of back and forth, is that if I'm using this gun specifically for, it is a backpack gun, truck gun, something like that, quick deploy, ballistics that you're looking at for 5.7 in this small package are really pretty well optimized.
No, you're not wrong.
Is the cost of 5.7 and the availability, at least right now, of 5.7, is it hard to come by? Yes. Is it expensive? Yes. That being said, am I going to, this gun wasn't necessarily made to go out and just mess around at the range per se, So there is a definite use case to run 5.7 in this. At the end of the day, if I were to buy one, and I'm gonna, to be honest with you, I'm gonna buy one of these. I'd have to look really hard at either doing 5.56 or 300.
Right, and so just to add, these mags are freaking cool, mind you. From my understanding, these are 3D printed mags. They hold up really well. We were tossing these around at the range, but you're looking at $32 a mag.
Right.
And now we're talking about 5.56, 300 Blackout. We're looking at $10 a mag.
Yeah.
That being said, the bark on this is probably half of the bark on a 5.56. And now you got to think about it from, if I'm in a defensive situation, I have no ears. Do I really care? No. Will it be loud and make my ears ring? Yes. Either way, it's going to make your ears ring. But I'm really leaning towards, and I'm hating on it, but I'm really leaning towards the 5.7 only because, it doesn't have anything to do with the capacity.
Right.
But it makes it a very lightweight package. Now, think of it this way, right? You're thinking about loading up, let's just say I'm loading up 3 mags of 220 grain, 300 Blackout. I'm throwing that in a backpack with the gun, which weighs 4.6 pounds. I know we forgot to mention that, but it's a 4.6 pounds with a 14.7 overall length. So it's a small gun.
Yep.
But still, 220 grains, 30 rounds each. That's 90 rounds of 220 grain. That weight goes from nothing to a lot, where I can hold 32 rounds of 40 grain ammo and have 3 mags, and I'm still probably going to be under 10 pounds.
Absolutely.
And now, again, we got to play devil's advocate, because the 5.56, you're looking roughly the same weight. You're adding a little bit of grains on the projectile side, but, me carrying a 5.56 backpack gun for the last 2 years, thing gets heavy. And over time, you're going to say, well, you wait and, you should get used to it. No, over time, like carrying 3 mags and a 5.56 backpack gun, and my backpack gun weighs about 7 pounds, so it's not light. But once you start adding things, again, this is 4.6 pounds unloaded, no optic, no brace, no ammo. I'm going to start adding weight. So for me, as a backpack option, as a PDW, I'm really leaning towards the 5.7, even though I have a ton of 5.56.
So the flip side to that for me is, again, if you've got a backpack gun or a truck gun or whatever, if you're going to that over your EDC pistol, this is a bad day.
Oh, yeah.
This is a really bad day. And my pistol isn't ballistically going to get it done. So if I have to go to a backpack gun, then is 5.7 enough of a jump? I don't know.
Right.
Again, we've been talking for a while now, in the office about, there was never a question about, is the Dissent a great gun and do you want one? The answer to both of those is yes. It's really come down to caliber, and we've all been going back and forth a lot. And again, it's a hard decision, but it's not a hard decision on whether this is a great platform. It's just down to caliber.
Well, speaking of the platform, we're going to kick over to specs real quick and do a little bit of montage music. All right, guys. So for our spec fans, thank you for putting up with that. All right, so we have the bolt carrier system and the recoil system all in here. As you can see, it's a dual recoil system. This one is radial delay blowback. There will be, like we said, the other one is direct impingement. It's a really cool setup, and it kind of reminds me of a couple other guns on the market, but it's all its own at the same time. What is the MSRP on this?
MSRP on it right now is $1999.95, so just under $2,000.
That's not bad for what you're getting. Now, like we said, you got to add $160 for the brace. It does not come with the brace system, but for as thin and light as this gun is, it fits the bill. The price point fits exactly what this is. It is a capture recoil system, bufferless system, side charging handle, non-reciprocating. This thing, it's just what it is, and it's an amazing gun, especially for those looking for a lightweight backpack PDW bedside gun. I mean, we've already said it. We don't even need to ask the question, are we buyers? Because we've both said that we really want one of these because it's got, you got your 60-degree throw, ambi mag release. Curt, what else can we add to this to kind of drive the point home that this is probably the best PDW on the market right now?
No, I agree. And I think that this is obviously going to be compared to things, like the MCX or the Scorpion. You have some benefits on some of those platforms for multi-caliber, things like that. So, there's a check, in the box for those guys. That being said, those platforms are more expensive because, again, that $2,000 is MSRP. I'm going to guess, when this gun launches, it's probably going to come in anywhere between maybe $1,600, $1,800, somewhere in there, depending. We'll see, right? And obviously, this is built more off it's an AR platform, for lack of a better term, right? Whereas the MCX and the Scorpion are kind of their own. What I appreciate about the CMMG over the others is they've really refined what they have here.
Oh, yeah.
The fact that it is so thin, and again, is that, $2,000 price tag, does that seem a little high at the offset? Possibly. But again, you're getting a Trigger Tech trigger in this. You know, you're getting a lot of the accessories that you would spend extra on to add. It just comes standard with them.
Oh yeah.
You know, the fact that it has the, you know, ambi mag release, it has the um, short throw on the safety selectors. You know, these are all things that you're going to spend money on and do yourself anyway, and it comes included. So I think that that's a huge thing, and I think that that's really something that we need to factor in. You know, when you look at the cost of the gun.
No, and right now, as we're speaking, at launch, they are taking pre-orders on this. Pre-order price is $19.99.95.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't know what street price is. Like you said, it's probably going to be give or take right there. But if you have to have it as soon as it comes out, when it officially starts shipping in September, you can pre-order it now from CMMG themselves. Overall, though, I can't really say anything bad about it. It's everything is perfect. It's what I wanted, and just the like you said, the finer details that they did, especially the hand stop in the handguard, that built-in hand stop just saves room on these rails to add whatever else you want to add. If you want to SBR this, put a foregrip.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to put a light option on here, there's some room for that. But this makes it a very they thought it out. Even we tested this when we measured it. Even with the charging handle, it is only 2 3/4 inches wide. Now, if they're gonna make a Gen 2 of this, I really would like to see this folded because that would make this so much thinner, a little bit. And again, that's nitpicky. That's nothing that we can't, because there's really not much we can say bad about this because we really did enjoy this and everything about it is perfect. CMG, you knocked it out of the park. We want to thank you guys for letting us borrow this for review. We also want to thank Mike from After Action AZ. Go check them both out. Make sure you check out Mike. Go follow his page on Instagram, After Action AZ. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe this video. We really appreciate you guys. If it wasn't for our viewers, we wouldn't have opportunities to review such cool guns like this Dissent here. So thank you guys, and have a great rest of your day.
Thanks, guys.